We talk a lot about the four and the preferred treatment they receive: Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. By Wall Street, our government, and our society, we engage in a gross idolatry of innovators that has reached a tipping point. The perfect storm is brewing around the four, and society is beginning to regurgitate on the notion that these firms are a universal good. And some, their perceptions or their images are moving from chicken salad to chicken shit. It appears that we have had enough. Some stats. Amazon, since 2008, Walmart has paid $64 billion in corporate income tax, while Amazon has paid $1.4 billion. This despite the fact that in the last 24 months, Amazon has added the entire market capitalization of Walmart to its value. The most uncomfortable question in business, in my view, is how do we pay our soldiers, firefighters, and teachers if a firm can ascend to $460 billion in value, fifth most in the world, without paying any meaningful corporate taxes? And now mayors are tripping over each other, throwing tax breaks and abatements to get Amazon to open their second headquarters in their city. Every mayor wants to detonate a prosperity bomb in the city square. However, what's more likely to happen is an Olympic-like bidding intoxication where there's a lot of high fives and celebration for 12 months, followed by years of economic analysis and hangover that this was a bad deal. What should Amazon do? They should starch their hat white, become a better citizen, pick Detroit, and revitalize the metro and invest in education and re-engaging and re-employing some of the engineers laid off in the auto industry. Apple, we have our religion. Our new Jesus Christ is Steve Jobs. The iPhone X should be called the iPhone Cross. We've decided the iPhone is holier than any other object. Someone gets thrown into a trunk, you can get a court order to search that car, but don't try and search the iPhone. That's holier. At Apple's recent product unveil, the company's head of retail, Angela Aaron, said the company no longer refers to its shops as stores.
We call them town squares.
That's like calling the playground at Grace Church that wanted to charge my kid $48,000 a year to play with blocks, Central Park. What bullshit. This company is the most profitable firm in the world, and they deserve that, but they have decided that privacy laws no longer apply to them. Facebook, arguably the most successful media company of the last 20 years, has simply put become Putin's bitch. They need to overcorrect and take responsibility, and thus far the response has been underwhelming, with the social platform citing concerns about censorship and saying they can't be an arbiter of truth. This isn't about censorship. It's not about free speech. It's about you refusing to inject friction and cost into your scalable business model. This will be complex and it will be expensive. So is democracy. Google, the search engine, enjoys 90% plus share of search across many of its largest markets, and search is now a bigger business than the entire ad market of any nation with the exception of the US. Are we comfortable with one for-profit entity getting to decide the answers to 90% of the queries posed to our modern god, search? Our governments have implicitly communicated to these firms with their fines that are the equivalent of a 25-cent parking ticket that the smart thing to do, the shareholder-driven thing to do, is to break the law. The four need to get out ahead of this issue fast, as wrapping themselves in a neon blue, pink, or rainbow blanket as an illusionist trick to distract people from the belief that they validated an age-old truth. Power corrupts. The worm has turned. We'll see you next week.